Hi Cancer, here is your love reading for the month of July 2017. I have already pre-shuffled and laid out your cards. Now, the central issue is the major arcana, the Hermit card. It is in its reverse position. The Hermit can have a number of meanings. It can touch on an element of somebody being obstinate, somebody refusing to face up to the fact that they are also partly responsible for certain problems that may be going on here. It can also talk about how maybe one of you in this relationship is starting to withdraw. And one of you is wanting to deepen the connection, and the other person is kind of stepping back. It could almost feel as though something is missing here, as though something is not quite right. It can talk about how either one of you may be isolating yourself from the other, or one of you is feeling an element of loneliness even though you're within this relationship. And it can as well talk about how maybe one of you is actually wanting to live more like a single person. In the recent past, we do have the Ten of Swords here. Now the Tens is endings and completions. So this is a cycle that should be coming to an end now. But you may not be entirely over the immense pain that's been caused here. The Ten of Swords talks about feeling very let down by somebody. Feeling as though somebody has stabbed you in the back. If we're talking about some of you that the relationship has ended, then it can very much talk about how the relationship ended very bitterly. And like I said, it may be that if your relationship has ended, it may be that you or the other person, as I said, was refusing to see that you or they played a part in this. Maybe one person is trying to put all the blame on the other. Now, here in the present, we do have the Death card. It is in the reverse position and it's number 13 in the major arcana. When it's in the reverse, it does talk about major changes. Major changes that you're ill prepared for. See, I think we're talking about a relationship, and this may only be for some of you, but I think we're talking about a relationship that has already come to an end. And like I said, you may be refusing to see the part that you played in this breakup. And it may very well have ended very bitterly. And you may now, in this month of July, still be struggling with the fact that this relationship has come to an end. Because it could be a relationship that you have emotionally invested in very heavily. Here we have the World card. This is endings and completions and new beginnings. In the reverse, again, it can touch on how you're not wanting to accept that this relationship has come to an end. You may even be leaving the door half open in the hope that this person is going to come back to you. Not accepting that the relationship has ended. Now, some of you may very well be involved or were involved with a fire sign. We do have the Queen of Wands here in the reverse position. The fire signs are Aries, Leo and Sagittarius. For some of you though, it could be touching on your own energy, which can talk about being manipulative, maybe being very domineering and pushy. It can talk about jealousy, and it could also touch on an element of infidelity here. That maybe the other person may have strayed out of this relationship, and that is why it may have come to an end. And maybe you are not accepting that although the other person did wrong and strayed outside, but on some level, the way you were behaving in this relationship may have pushed them into that direction. Now, I'm not condoning third-party situations, and I'm not making any judgments here. That's not my place to do that. But that could be the case for some of you here, okay? Also with the Queen of Wands, it can talk about crossing a line. That somebody here has crossed a line too far. And it's caused this major argument that has resulted in the ending of this relationship. I do feel the relationship has already ended, but I feel it's only ended very recently. Now, here we've got the Two of Pentacles, and it's in its reverse position. This can be a card about needing to make a decision. It can be about juggling too much. It can very much talk about a relationship that has lost its spark. And how trying to maintain this relationship is just too difficult. It can be because of your lifestyle, your schedules, but it could be because one of you was juggling two people, and that situation could no longer continue. Here we have the Emperor. Again, this is the card for Aries, okay? And we do have the Queen of Wands here. So for some of you, maybe it wasn't Aries, but it doesn't have to be, okay? What the Emperor talks about when it's in the reversed is it talks about feeling out of control here. It can talk about an unstable relationship. But it can also talk about somebody that is behaving in an unstable way. That may be behaving in a way that's out of character. Because they're not feeling in control. They may be being very domineering. As I said, very controlling. Now this could be you or it could be the other person. But somebody is not feeling as though they are in control here. Now, if it's the other person that ended this relationship, then I would think that Emperor card is more talking about your energy. But if you ended the relationship, then it could go the other way. Here we've got the Four of Pentacles. And it is in its reverse position. There can be an element of fear with this Four of Pentacles. Trying to hold on tightly to something because you're fearing a change here. It can as well talk about disagreements. To clarify that Four of Pentacles, I got the Chariot card. Now this is the card for Cancer. So we have your own energy here. It's number 7 in the Major Arcana. And this talks about you being in the driving seat. I think you're going to go through a process here in the month of July. A month is going to be a month of change. Change that may have already taken place. But it's going to be a month about acceptance. About accepting that this ending has taken place. Accepting that you cannot control this. And you cannot control the actions of somebody else. And that it's no good holding on to someone if they have already let go. You need, the Chariot is the victory card in the Major Arcana. And if you can go through this month of acceptance, and as I said, not trying to be in control here, you can then gain victory with that Chariot card. It's about you steering that Chariot now into a new direction. A direction that is going to be right for you. to me, with that Ten of Swords, there has been a lot of sadness, a lot of psychological pain, a lot of suffering that's been felt here. And it's either been felt by you through somebody else, or somebody else is feeling this through you. It is a month, as I said, that is talking about endings that I feel, if they have not already taken place over these last few weeks, then they are going to take place during this early part of the month of July. But at the end of the month, we see you coming into your own energy there with that Chariot and deciding to take the reins in order for you to gain victory here. And you steering your life into a new direction, and a direction that is going to be best for you. Let go of any fears. Let go of any person or situation that is not in your best interest anymore. Don't leave the door half open with that World card. If something has ended, then accept it's ended. Close the door on that chapter and open the door to a whole new beginning for yourself. And by the end of the month, I feel that you're going to start to come into that energy. You're going to turn that World card back around the other way. Okay, Cancer, that does conclude this reading. Thank you so much for liking, sharing and subscribing. Take care. Bye.